I see that the web designer has contributed so much to the graphics that they have completely forgot to look at the structure and everything else. You know, just like in any business, one person can be great at graphics and understanding other things that are like fundamental structure and database and that sort of stuff. I definitely think that a website should be, you know, decent looking, but the main thing is basically serving its purpose, which is exposing the call to action, guarantees, offers, contact information, and basically building a list. If a website is very pretty and nice and colorful, but all that graphical stuff doesn't contribute to sales or your business processes, I mean, we're basically trying to concentrate on creating clients here. If it doesn't serve that, there's no point having pretty colors.
And it's back to that, you possibly paid quite a bit for it,
sure,
but it's actually not recouping on its cost.
On average, people in Australia are paying between you know, $1,500 and probably about $8,000 for a very graphical website. You know, I just did some quotes recently and I was quite amazed. And the sort of websites people get, you know, they might be very pretty, but they're just useless. I mean, it's so transparent with the internet. You can use a number of services to see what sort of traffic a website gets and what it's actually optimized for. And when you actually look at that, sometimes, you know, I personally get fascinated by the amount of money people spend on it, and by having a website that does nothing, you know, how does that work? You know, it's just
wasted money, or wasted money to an extent, isn't it?
Exactly.
Which then kind of goes back to our original discussion about, I know I've got to have one, but you know, it's just another thing I have to do, it's another cost I have to have and all the rest of it. But if you can set it up properly, so that it actually is generating work for you, it pays for it, well, more than pays for itself, doesn't it?
That's right. I've been doing web design for the last 6 years, and in the last 18 months I've been concentrating on developing a particular model which is concentrated on exposing a business and converting visitors into paid clients. And I've been mainly working with the fitness clients at the moment, and have a couple of tax accounting websites happening, and yeah, the results are just amazing. And I must tell you that it actually all started with just a simple blog for a lady called Julie Spain in Brisbane. Who decided to run a blog called Diary of an Online Business. And it's basically just a simple blog where she started doing entries about internet marketers and what they do and their products and stuff. She now has about, you know, about between 900 and 1,500 people a month visiting her website. And she tells me that she doesn't do much with that blog anymore. It's all past entries. So that got me thinking. What if I start using the WordPress blog structure for business websites? Would that work the same way? And it turned out just the same way.
Okay, so just run us through an example of that whole fitness, like the one you've done for your fitness.
Okay. With those websites, you basically got to have a keyword-rich domain name to start with.
Yeah.
So let's say if you run a personal training business in a particular geographical area, you can basically call a domain name by that. So, for example, the website that I started off with was Personal Trainer West End, which is a suburb in Brisbane, .com.au. You've got to have .com.au if you're doing business in Australia.
Yeah.
Google and other search engines look at websites that have .com.au as more targeted websites that other Australians would be looking for. So the actual domain name by itself is keyword rich already.
Yeah.
So what you've got to do then is basically set up the structure so that it actually supports what the actual business does. So what I've done is I've done a bit of keyword research and found that fitness training, aerobics training, weights training, cardio training were deriving keywords from personal training, and I optimized websites for that. And I also included suburbs like West End and the ones that were surrounding it. And 5 days later I found that my website actually ranks on the first page of Google for those keywords. Nice. Personal trainer West End, trainer West End, fitness trainer, trainer West End. And yeah, I actually ended up renting their website out to one of the personal trainers because I was a personal trainer myself. So yeah, just to roll back a bit, I did that as a bit of a project. Filming myself in my garage with a camera, just basically as if I was a personal trainer, just to get a profile started. And yeah, later that week I actually got to speak at one of the fitness training seminars from pt2. They teach personal trainers to run their business, and they asked me to present their model, and people were just blown away.
I bet they
were. So that's how I started.
But that sounds so simple. And I guess in a way it is, but the simplicity that I like about it is A, yes, it's the site,
Yeah.
but B, it's the actual people find, because I might be looking for a personal trainer in West End, that you would just come up first time, like,
That's right.
there it is.
That's right. And all you've got to have is basically the right information to support that. If you come to the website
Yeah.
and you spend enough time on the site, Google thinks it's good. And all this data is trackable through Google Analytics. So
Yeah.
you can basically analyze everything that happens. I mean, it might be common sense when you talk about it like that.
Yeah.
But you know, with every business, before you start on the website, you've got to sit down and dissect all the services and to understand all the keywords that you're trying to run. Now, a lot of businesses already have, you know, domain names that are not keyword specific at all.
Yeah.
That's no big dramas. You can still optimize them in a way that they'll start coming up.
Yeah, okay.
It's just that it's a lot easier to work with domain names that are keyword rich.
Yeah. But you can have more than one domain name as well, can't
Definitely, yeah.
you? Yeah.
As a matter of fact, a couple of clients had their old domain names and they purchased my website pack where I actually built a fitness website for them.
Yeah.
And I actually built a website based on the keyword rich domain name as well, by using the company logos and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And we actually watched the site that I built totally outrank the previous website by traffic and conversion and leads and stuff like that.
Okay.
So that was amazing.
Yeah, yeah, excellent. Okay. Yeah, so you can have more than one domain name.
Definitely.
Yeah, okay, that's good. And they can all point to the one site though, can't they?
You can set up in that way, although I prefer every website to stay separately.
Okay, so take
Yeah,
one standalone.
That's right.
That effectively means you're running two sites.
Yeah, it's just that in the past, if you did redirects and stuff like that, that was fine. Now Google sort of doesn't like the redirects.
Yeah, okay.
The website that redirects traffic to another site basically loses all its rankings. So
Okay.
it becomes a little hard.
Yeah.
So if somebody comes to me right now and says, I've got a website already, it doesn't work, can I redesign it? That's one service that I offer.
Yeah.
But building from scratch by having the right domain name is definitely...
That's a different one again, yeah.
That's
okay,
right.
okay. So let me back it up to keywords.
Yep.
Okay, I'm an entrepreneurial mother. That's who I deal with. They're,
Sure.
they're the people that I mainly speak to. I get keywords. I get what it means, but how do I actually find that stuff out? Like, what is it about keywords that I need to know about that would make sense for my site?
Yep. Keywords, basically, you got to understand what people are searching for in order to find your website.
Yeah.
And while you have a couple of ideas in your head in terms of how you could do it theoretically, you need some real factors to back it up. There is a tool called Google Keyword Tool, which allows you to basically put in one of the keywords and it'll expand on that keyword. So let's say you put personal trainer, it'll give you fitness trainer, fitness training and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Based on what people actually put in according to the statistics of Google.
Yeah.
So you get like a whole 12-month statistical data based by, you can basically order it by the number of searches happening locally or globally.
Yeah.
And another thing you can do with that tool, you can actually insert your website and it'll also tell you the number of keywords that Google sees your website ranking for.
Oh, really?
Yeah, actually that's quite amazing. A lot of people don't realize that the website ranks completely for something else, and Google sees it as relevant to the keywords that would be pretty much impossible to dominate due to the competition.
Yeah.
Now, with your business, can you tell me a little bit about your clients, or perhaps maybe I can answer some of the questions that they might have?
Yeah, well, certainly entrepreneurial mothers are mothers who combine motherhood and business. That's the point of it, and they're building a mother of a business. So
Yep.
what I mean by that is that it's something that can fit in with probably school hours if they've got children at that age. But they want to and see themselves as being a mother in a certain way, and business provides the lifestyle that enables them to do that.
Sure.
So there's a lot of things that they want to be able to do in business, but have to be very diligent and very specific about how they spend the hours that they have available in order to do that.
Yeah.
Now, a website would feature as part of that, obviously, because it's a tool, as you said, it's a tool of business these days. But then the question for them is, how do I prioritise what of the tools that I need and that I have, how do I then prioritise in terms of what I should be spending my time on?
Sure.
Now, for any business,